blast music247.com. We're changing the industry one artist at a time.
Step in the scene, fresh kicks on the feet. It's Comeiko T, bringing real to the street. Real estate queen, got that $1 million glow from the city to the block. Yeah, everybody know, talking life, talking hustle. She don't hold back, from sneakers to hats, got the whole style stacked. Tuesday nights, you already know the vibe. Blast Media Live, where the truth come alive. Pull up at 7 steps. Central. Knowledge so sharp, yeah, it's all instrumental. She flip homes and flip combo too. 1-to-1, real rare, not one of the few. So low.
Say less, tune in, you know the deal. Miko tell her keep it fly and real. Talk that talk, walk that walk. Every Tuesday let the real ones talk.
Yeah. Say less, don't stress, turn it up and let the queen finesse.
Wow, I think that was cut short. Was that cut short, VP? I see you. It wasn't? Dang, maybe I just wasn't ready. Anyway, happy Tuesday, y'all. Welcome to the Say Less Show with Miko. I hope that your day is going well, went well, and all that good stuff, okay? So I, for whatever reason, am sleepy, okay? I just feel so, I don't know why, like, it's just weird, but I feel kind of tired. You know what I'm saying? And I haven't even eaten yet. Because y'all know that all last week, I was stuck upstairs, me and the dang on dog, my grand dog. And we were stuck upstairs because they were doing our floors downstairs. And so it was like, you know, I'm up early anyway, no matter what. Like, I just don't be telling people because don't bother me yet. But I be up. But it's one thing to get up on your own, and it's another to have to involuntarily get up, right? Because the guy was coming every morning about 8:39, and that's heck late for me because I'm typically out the bed by 7:30, logging on my computer and getting to work. But yeah. And so then, you know, of course, he pulled our stove out. Like, the stove was in here when we bought the house back in 2021. It was one of them, it works, so let's just rock with it. But when he pulled the stove out, baby, when I say I called my husband and said, we not pushing the stove back in this little corner hole thing here, we not doing it. So new stove was supposed to be delivered on Saturday. Lowe's is whack. Lowe's suck. I'm saying it like publicly because they do. But I ended up not being able to get a stove delivered until yesterday. So I wasn't able to cook my Easter dinner on Sunday, but I cooked it yesterday. And yes, I did. I made greens and dressing and macaroni and cheese and neck bones. Okay? Because I'm not going to miss a holiday meal. And it's just me in the house. But I'm still going to eat and I'm going to cook. So I said all that to say that I haven't even eaten yet. I could see if I ate and I had the itis, you know what I'm saying? But I haven't even eaten yet and I'm tired. So we are going to get into it. So last week, guys, that is the reason why I had to run it back. The previous show the week before is because my downstairs was out of commission and I couldn't get down here and didn't want to do it upstairs with the dog, like right there, just in getting on my nerves. So we ran it back, but it was the show with me and Rich, my boy Rich, the London Village. And we talked about buying your first property, how it could change your bloodline. We talked about the home buying process. I don't even think we touched generational wealth, even though that was in the title. But we talked about all that and hopefully covered a lot of things that people were curious about or had questions about when it comes to the entire home buying process and what happens on the loan side, right? So we touched on that. And then today we're going to be talking about you're not behind, you're just getting started. And this topic here just kind of came from a spirit. I poke around a lot and I look around a lot and I kind of feed off of things that I see, just within social media or just listening to people. And a lot of us, including myself, okay, because y'all know I keeps it 100, including myself, sometimes you do get stuck. When you expect to be a certain place in life at a certain age and it just ain't happened for you, and I'm currently going through that, looking for a job. I have many businesses, that just hit and miss financially. We all know that as a realtor, if I don't sell a property, if I don't help somebody buy a property, then that's just no income. I have other little things going on that brings in a little revenue, but it's not what I hope or want, right? It's not enough for me. It's not enough. And so I find myself, I had to hit up my girl, Miss Myra, Intuitive Reading by Myra, to say, girl, I need an emergency appointment because, hunty, I don't understand. I'm even underqualifying myself for these remote positions. And it's been a year and I just keep getting rejection after rejection. And I don't know why. So sometimes I stop and question and say, what the heck? Like, what the heck, right? We get hard on ourselves and down on ourselves, but we always have to remember that there's a time. It's divine timing. And so when we get all stressed out and crazy or whatever, we have to remind ourselves, wait a minute, just keep doing what you're doing, right? And do it with faith and hope that something eventually is going to happen. So the topic today is you're not behind, you're just getting started. And we're just going to touch on some high points about that, right? Hoping to encourage someone as I encourage myself every day, because it gets hard sometimes. And sometimes there's just, I'm fortunate to have, a few people in my corner that helps me pat myself on the back, because we have to reward ourselves. I don't care if it's just a tiny, tiny effort. We have to learn how to reward ourselves and give ourselves some grace, right? So that's the topic today. Motivational quote that we're going to start with for the show is, you're not behind, you're just getting started. And what takes you longer to build will last longer when it's done, right? So basically within that, I took away patience. I took away patience from that quote there. You know what I'm saying? Patience, patience, patience. It's hard, but you can do it, right? So that's what we're going to talk about. I'm touching on a few points. I have two little stories, of encouragement stories to share. My drink of the evening. My drink of the evening. So I say again, I have not been eating right the past week. Of course, because I could not cook, right? Didn't have access to the kitchen. And so I was trying my best. I would go to Panda Express and I would eat, a portion of it. I do my mushroom coffee in the morning. So I really honestly don't do breakfast a lot. Once I drink my mushroom coffee, if I do, it's eggs and avocado really in the mornings and a piece of multigrain toast. And then typically my lunch is protein or something like that. But, all last week, so Panda Express, I eat half of it. They give you a lot of food. I ate half of it for lunch, half, the other half for dinner. Easter, I ate a Whataburger. And it was pretty much breakfast, real talk. Like, I hadn't been in so long that I asked the guy, is it the whole menu available? And he was like, yeah. And it was like 9:45 in the morning. And I just finished washing my car. But like my husband says, what time the stomach open? But I told that burger up, okay? Whataburger is all right. It's cool, but it ain't better than In-N-Out. Period. Point blank. Okay? So I said all that to say that now that I have a stove and I'm probably going to eat on my Easter dinner that I made yesterday, probably until tomorrow, I got to get back on track, right? So I am drinking something called Fit Vine. and it's a bubbly rose, and it has zero sugar in it. No sugars in it. You know, a little bubbly rose champagne. It has the full flavor, and it has 12.5% alcohol in it. Okay, this is it. Fit Vine. It's in a aluminum can. Can you see that? My light. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I just be, but it's not nasty. I told VP it was nasty. It's not nasty. It's just that it's healthy. You know, when something's healthy, it tastes healthy. I feel like it tastes like vegetables. I don't know. But anyway, it ain't got no sugar in it. And it's not that bad, right? But that's the whole point. Trying to get over the sugar. All right, after I just ate a piece of cake. But anyway. So we're going to talk about not being behind and just getting started. So I personally think that, you know, the people that I run into and I talk to, you know, and they're down and they're out. I forget who I was talking to, but social media has played a big role in lives over these last decades, right? I mean, a tremendous difference. The way people think, the way people speak, the way people act. Social media has had a huge, in some cases, negative impact on folks. Especially, I don't want to call people weak, but people who are easily influenced. It has really messed up some folks. You know what I mean? If you're not a, you know, have a strong personality and you're strong-minded, social media can ruin you. It can make you feel less than because you're looking at other people and what they got and comparing and whatever the case may be. And that's something that you just can't. Because again, I've said it on my other podcast when I've talked about topics around this. You're basically telling God that you're not pleased with what he's doing in your life, right? You're just not. If you're sitting here and saying, oh God, man, when they got this and they got that and this and that and this and that, and what about me? And they can do this and they can go here and they can fly here and they can, what that got to do with you, right? There's a plan for all of us. It was written before we even made it to this thing called Earth, right? Your story is your story. Rock with it. And if it's not going the way that you want it to go, fix it. Because at the end of the day, we're the only ones that can change our lives. And if it's something that's aligned with God, it's going to happen. You just got to put the work in, right? You got to put the work in. You got to have faith. So stop letting social media get y'all all messed up. You know what I'm saying? Something else that you don't realize is that a lot of people post their wins. They don't post their losses. I don't give a hootsie what the heck kind of business, career, whatever that anybody got. Please and do know there was some losses. It was not wins from front to back. It was not. I don't give a hootsie what nobody say. And if anybody has been able to create and build with absolutely no losses, then come sit down and talk to me and give me your secrets. Okay? Because no. That's just gonna be a no, right? So that's what people tend to do. They tend to post the good things. And they tend to post the now, but they don't post the beginning stages and the things that they lost and the frustrations that they had. So you can't look at other people's stories in their situations and compare. You can't compare your day 1 to somebody's day 10. You cannot compare your chapter 1 to somebody's chapter 10. right? That's their book. Stay in your book. Okay. And let them people be, because you don't know what they had to sacrifice, what they had to go through, what they had to do to get to where they are. You don't ever want to walk in somebody else's shoes. Walk in your own. Okay. Everybody starts somewhere, and nobody skips the struggle phase. You do not. You don't skip it. It's always going to be there. You just got to stand tall and rock through it. So, another thing that I notice is that people feel like they're behind because they don't have the big item things, the big ticket things, right? They don't have a house yet. They don't have a fancy car. They're not able to take trips. Not able to be out on the town, 24/7. Like you have to stop and tell yourself, instead of comparing, say, what am I doing and what can I do different? Right? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, there's nothing that anybody else has that you can't get for yourself if you try hard enough. Everything comes with a sacrifice, right? So there's absolutely nothing that nobody has. There's absolutely nothing that anybody does in life that I look and say, oh man, nah. Because if I want it and I try hard enough, I could do it too. Everybody's preferences is different. Just because you see somebody always traveling somewhere, for me, I'm not a traveler. So, I see him like, oh, y'all better get it. Y'all better. I'm not jumping on planes and I'm just not a traveler. I'm not an adventurer. I'm just not. It does not interest me whatsoever. You know what I mean? So, but if it did, you know what I mean? I would be busting my butt to put myself in a situation where I can get away and I can go here and I can go there. Traveling is draining to me. So I've never been interested in it. Every once in a blue moon, maybe. Literally, the places that I have been is because it's been destination weddings. It wasn't just because. It was a reason, right? So you have to stop doing that. Then when you say, okay, you don't own yet. Okay, well, do a self-check. Why don't you own yet? Now that it's the realtor coming out now. The realtor and sneakers is coming out. Why don't you own yet? Why? Do a self-check. Is your credit right? Are you working on it? Is your money right? Are you saving for it? Because you need money to buy a home. You don't need $1 million. Okay? You don't need $100,000, but you're going to need some money when it's time to buy a home. So what are you doing now to prepare for that? Are you saving? Do you have a game plan in order? You know what I mean? And, I don't care. Again, what's meant for you is for you, and it's divine timing. So don't stress yourself out. If it take you 2 years to put $20, $30, $40, $50 to the side, eventually you're going to have enough. Do it, right? Have a game plan. Don't rush the process. When you rush the process, you make bad decisions. You be financially stressed. You regret things that you do while you're rushing to get wherever. Just take it slow and let it do its own thing. Divine timing, right? So at the end of the day, it's okay. You're going to get it. So I have 2 stories. I'll probably they'll go fast. But this is like encouragement stories, right? So I have 2 stories. I'm going to start out with Aaliyah. Okay. So there was a woman named Aaliyah. All right. She's 34 years old, and she felt like life had passed her by. No house, no business, no big savings. Every time she opened social media, it felt like everybody was winning. buying homes, posting closed deals, living the life she thought she was supposed to have by now. She used to sit in her car after work sometimes just staring, thinking, what did I do wrong? One day, she ran into an old friend at a grocery store. Her friend was glowing. New car, new house, everything looked perfect. Aaliyah forced a smile and said, girl, you doing it. I'm so behind. Her friend paused and looked her dead in the eyes and said, behind where? That question stuck with Aaliyah. That night, instead of scrolling on social media, she sat in silence. And for the first time, she asked herself, who told me I was behind? Not God, not her journey, not her purpose, just comparison, right? So the next morning, she made a decision. No big announcement, no social media post, just a quiet promise to herself. I'm about to start for real this time. She started fixing her credit. She started saving, even if it was $50 at a time. Started learning, started asking questions instead of sitting in doubt. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't fast, and nobody was clapping. A year later, no, she wasn't a millionaire. No, she didn't have everything figured out. But she had something she didn't have before. And that was confidence, direction, and progress. And eventually, she got the keys to her first home. And Comeiko Teller, your realtor in sneakers, was her realtor in the story. Not because she was behind and caught up, but because she finally started. I don't care how old you are. I don't care that you feel like it's just too late. Why? It's not. I said before, okay, I'm 50. Hold on. 51, 50. I was 46. 46%, 48, 9, 50. I'll be 51. Yeah. When I got my first home, it was my husband's second home, but me is my first. 46. I still sometimes do that today too. You know, here I am. How the heck am I about to be 51? Okay. And I got all, then started all these little businesses. And then you look at people, I'm going to do this real quick, like, right? I'm going to do this real quick. Hold on. Because somebody encouraged me with this. I never do comparison, but I always, you know, I'm someone who look at somebody's wins and it encourages me. It uplifts me. It gives me hope that it could be done. So check this out, in case some of you never knew this. So this is actors who achieve fame later in life, right? Morgan Freeman, he was 48 when he started his acting career. Morgan Freeman, 48 years old, right? Started his acting career. Viola Davis was 43 years old. 43, not 19, 18, 20, 43, right? Sylvester Stallone was 30 when he started his. Christopher Waltz was 53. Judi Dench was 60. There's so many more. Susan Boyle was 47. Regis Philbin was 50. Colin O. Sanders was 60. 60 when he started KFC. Dang, that sounds good, huh? He was 60 when he started KFC. Franchised it. 60. So I said all that to say it's never too late, right? It is never too late. And I know that sometimes, we feel like, woe is me, why me? But sometimes we have to feel empty. You have to know the feeling of being empty so that you can appreciate what it feels like to be full, if that makes sense. So, in other words, when we're going through our struggles and we just feel so empty, so lost, so lonely, so defeated, right? It's a process and we have to go through it. We have to accept it. And once we get through that phase and we get through the valley, then we can appreciate when we get to the part where we feel full and we're satisfied, because we went through that humbling stage, because that's what it is. It's a humbling stage. It's a stage where your faith is as little as a mustard seed. It's a stage and a phase where, are you going to trust God, right? It's a phase and a stage where, are you going to remain grateful going through your storm? Again, many know my life story and I've been through a lot. But God has been so good to me, even living in my car, right? Because I stay grateful. For one, you above ground. So the good Lord, if you ain't happy about that, then we going to have to get you some help. Remember, I am a life coach if you need some sessions. Okay. But just being above ground, we should be grateful for. So when you remain in a grateful stage, regardless of what you're going through, because the end of last year was pure D hell, but I went through it with a smile on my face, right? Because I trusted God and I knew that He would work everything out. I knew that He's never left my side, period, point blank. I don't care sleeping in my car, people couches. I don't care what the hell I went through. He never failed me whatsoever. Okay. So then I'm going to give you in VP in the background. We're not going to do a video because I'm about to wrap this up. Okay. So I'll give you another story. This is Darius, right? So there was a man named Darius. At 42, he felt like life had knocked him all the way back. Lost his job, his marriage ended, had to move back into a small place just to regroup. From the outside, it looked like everything fell apart, and in his mind, it did. He used to sit in silence thinking, I should be way further than this. Watching people his age running businesses, traveling, living comfortably. Meanwhile, he felt like he was back at square one. One day, his son asked him something simple. Dad, are you okay? He paused because for the first time, he didn't have a strong answer. That night, he sat on the edge of his bed, staring at the floor. No distractions, no noise, just truth. And he said to himself, I can sit here and feel sorry for myself, or I can start over. Not tomorrow, not next week, right then. He didn't have a perfect plan, but he had a decision. He started applying again, even when he felt underqualified. Started learning new skills, even when it felt uncomfortable. Started showing up for himself, even when nobody else noticed. It wasn't easy. Some days he doubted himself. Some days he wanted to quit, but he didn't. Months passed, then one opportunity turned into another. A better job, a clearer mindset, a stronger version of himself. And one day he looked in the mirror and realized something. He wasn't the man that lost everything. He was the man who rebuilt everything. Rebuild. Queen here. Okay? Queen. I have been up. I have been down. I have been up. I have been down. And every time I go down, I pick up and I rebuild. If you want to know if it's possible, I'm a living testimony. You can rebuild. Just like when I left my son's dad, let me tell you something. That man, when I leave, I leave. Okay. I'm not leaving with nothing but my clothes. I left everything. I don't want nothing. You know why? Because they're gonna always make beds, they're gonna always make couches, they're gonna always make refrigerators, they're gonna always make tables, they're gonna always make dishes. Rebuild. You can have it all. Because you can get it again. It's called rebuilding, right? So even if you've been in that situation, and you've lost, you can rebuild. You can rebuild if you really put your mind to it. So in your building season, you're know that you're learning, you're growing, you're fixing mistakes, and you're getting your mind right. That's in your building season. Sometimes we have to stop and study ourselves, right? Check ourselves. And always remember to check your progress. Again, this is the pat on the back. Like, just because you're not seeing the fruits, of your trying and your labor doesn't mean it's not going to happen. You just gotta keep going, even when it gets discouraging. Because I'm telling you, if I get one more, we chose another candidate, I'm even underqualifying myself. I know I probably overqualify for some of the things, but I don't give a hootsie, right? And it gets discouraging when you get those emails. Like, for one, thank you for letting me know, because some of these jobs don't let you know. But thank you for letting me know. But it can get discouraging. But then you got to stop and I say, Miko, you applied. Pat yourself on the back, because there's a lot of people that's just sitting there not doing anything, right? But I gave myself the credit that I deserve because I took the time out to apply. And so you got to reward yourself. I just, the enemy, that sucker, that bastard be busy in here on people. You know what I mean? And when you we are human, we're flesh, right? But when you recognize it, snap the hell up out of it. Because he'll get you. Been there, done that, been in a mental ward. He will get you. So you got to recognize it and snap back. So always check your progress. Ask yourself, where were you a year ago? Not even just if you're not working or, don't have, just even yourself. Who was I a year ago? Have I grown? Is there growth? Because if you're the same as you were a year ago and you're not happy with yourself, you ain't putting in enough work, right? So give yourself credit for the growth that you have come about, if you have, right? Because we didn't come this far for nothing. So stop watching everybody else, y'all, and start moving, okay? Stop watching everybody else. Stop comparing yourself. Comparison is evil. It's evil. It's the devil. It's evil, because all it does is downplay yourself, and all it does is tell God that, what you doing with my life? I'm not pleased because look at what they got and why I don't have it. That's some old elementary mentality. Ooh, they got this and they got, okay, and you don't even know what the hell they went through to get that. I don't want to know. I don't want it. I want what's for me. Okay, and that's it. So we got to change our mindsets, right? And stop letting social media. I know there's some people who don't even deal with social media. You know what I'm saying? Like my husband, he over the years he's been on and off. And it's kind of understandable because he travels for work, right? And so he's out sacrificing, not, being away from home, but yet and still he's watching everybody have a good old time. He's watching me, you know what I mean? Out there, because what I'm going to do is Comeiko going to live life. Okay. And that's just the Gemini. And speaking of that, I know y'all feel that breeze. That's us Geminis floating through. So, yeah, go on and prepare yourself. But So it would get kind of discouraging, because it's like, okay, I don't want to see nothing. And so a lot of times he would log out. I mean, he was logged out for like a whole year, because I get it. You out there working all hard and you see everybody back home, having a good time. There's some people who feel like social media is too much or can be discouraging. This is my thing. I enjoy social media, right? Because for one, it don't run me. I run it. And it's called block. It's called unfriend. It's called unfollow. So there's a lot of associates that I know that I don't even follow them. Because, baby, let me tell you, when I say the negative energy is bananas, it's like, good Lord. 1 minute is praise the Lord, and the next minute this bitch gonna get cut. This is too much, right? So I unfollow. I don't have to see that. I run my Facebook page. I run what I want to see. And for the most part, for me, social media is educating. You learn things, networking. I look at it on the positive side and what it can do for me, right? Facebook ain't got control over me. TikTok don't have control over me. Instagram definitely don't, because I just went on Instagram the other day and had about 11 messages. Y'all, I'm sorry. I promise I'm going to start trying to get right with Instagram. I just don't like it. Never liked Instagram. And TikTok, I post and I get off. Right? So don't let it run you. Social media can be very positive. Find the positivity in it, and grow from it. You know how many things I've learned from social media? Like, literally. I'm going to say that the good outweighs the bad for me, but that's because I control what I see and what I look at. And if there's somebody that, be doing too much, and you got your braggers and your people that need to practice a little bit more humility, and sometimes you do get tired. You're like, here they go again. Unfollow them. You ain't gotta unfriend them. Just unfollow them. You know what I'm saying? Many things I didn't subliminal messages. Sometimes when it's in your arena, unfollow them. Okay. And then you don't have to see it to have to react, because we all still got a little bit of thug in us. You know what I'm saying? And I've come a long way. My husband told me actually yesterday something happened at the car show Sunday. Something happened at the car show Sunday. This chick my purse was in her dude's chair, and I didn't know it was her dude's chair. And baby, she went in on me and told me, don't let it happen again. She told Miko that. Yeah, the old Miko. It would have been, we would have been banned, right? But I said that, she didn't give me the opportunity to clap back, because she marched off like a mama coming down the street with a belt. But it's the growth. So when I told my husband about it, he was like, I ain't graduated to where you at yet. And he tells me, my friend Lauren, she tells me, I see the growth. I see the growth. And shit, with almost being at 51, it just comes naturally. It comes naturally. I used to be about all the smoke. Whenever you was ready, whenever you was down, right? I don't have time for it. I have too much to lose. And I don't like to meet people where they are. And no one's beneath me. I'm not saying that, but if you on another level and it's a lower level, I don't want no parts of it. I'm gonna go ahead and walk away and distance myself, right? So, y'all, don't let social media do you in like that, okay? And that's all I have for you today. I don't know what we're going to talk about next week. If y'all got any suggestions, inbox me, let me know. Leave it on the Say Less page and we could talk about it. I don't know what I'm going to talk about next week. I might have Rich back on. It might be I think it's time for a girl versus guy something. So if y'all could think of something, let me know. Other than that, thank you guys, those that tuned in, and thank you guys that rock with me. And on that note, you have a beautiful rest of your week, and I will see you guys next Tuesday. Bye.